Now do you want to invest? The hat.
Dude, I like this hat idea. You can put a Blue Jay symbol, a Raptor symbol. Like
you get 40% because you wore it. You're the inspiration. You're my muse.
I like this idea, actually.
You know, you could actually it could be an advertising thing. You could actually sell your forehead to Pepsi Canada or McDonald's.
Or Raji Lamb Pizza. That's amazing.
Guys, look at us. Think tank.
You sell enough hats, you sell 1 million hats, and then you sell the space above the hat.
Hello.
There
guys.
You go.
I don't even have an idea anymore.
Let's celebrate and buy a bunch of condos.
On the Todd Shapiro Show, SiriusXM 168. Hello up there. It's Brad J. Lamb. You too can become a condo millionaire. The Todd Shapiro Show, Canada Laughs, SiriusXM 168.
Mr. Lamb.
How are you?
Oh, jealous.
You jealous because of the basketball game?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm such a mooch today, Pat.
You should have told me like a week ago.
Well, I know. I'm a mooch. Brad has seasons, and Brad has great seasons, great tickets.
Nice.
And I thought today, maybe I'll be the moochy guy and see who has tickets. Because I wanted to go Golden State, obviously, Drake night. And it's just a big, crazy, fun night in Toronto. But how sweet, you're going with your girlfriend.
I am.
That's nice. Yeah. You sure she's not like...
Is she a big fan of basketball?
You know, I don't think that many women are big fans of basketball, but I think they're big fans of the basketball game.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of shit going on that's fun, right? So, I mean, I don't think they know all the players.
My mom does.
Yeah, so, I mean, some women do. I'm going to sound like a misogynist here. Maybe I should shut the fuck up. But most women that I've known are they don't know all the players and necessarily all the details of basketball, but basketball game is unique to any game that you can go to in professional sports because it's really catered to people. If you don't really know exactly the rules and you don't really know all the players and you don't know the standings and so on, it's still fun because there's shit being thrown at you. There's cheerleaders, there's dancing, there's DJs, there's bars, there's good food. So yeah, she wants to go.
The event. It's an event tonight. Yeah. And it's Drake night.
Yeah. It is.
They're going to put Drake shirts on all the chairs. Maybe.
I would just say it's my girlfriend. I don't think I should act. Just a girl that sorry. I'm casually.
Okay. Yeah, a friend.
How long have you been not dating her?
I've known her for a few months.
Okay. Oh, okay. A nice friend.
That's good.
It's amazing.
A female friend.
Well, I'm
sounded like much more of that the way you just said it, like a female friend.
Dude, what a crazy week! And you were like one of our first guests, and I loved last week's segment with you. It was such a interesting, smart perspective on Donald Trump becoming the president-elect. It was the day after, and you kind of. You nailed a few things, though, that I think a lot of people who are afraid of it were, you talked about it in sort of a business terminology, and I like it. Now he's naming his cabinet. And it's pretty interesting. Some people are saying, this Bannon guy's anti-Semite and, he's an alt-right nationalist, blah, blah, blah. What do you think so far about some of these names and what's going on with Trump's cabinet?
Well, I mean, I think most of the names that have been floated, I think pretty well everyone's okay with except Bannon. There are a lot of groups that are claiming things about him, and there's other groups, and some of them are Jewish groups that are saying this is not true. So to be honest with you, I'm not sure what the real man is all about, but the decision's been made, and I think what people need to do now, there was an election, it followed the rules, someone won, and now that person's going to run that country for 4 years, and I think people need to let him get on with it and see what happens. And I don't think, unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there, not a lot of people actually. I think there's probably less people than it seems like based on the news events. There's a few thousand people in a few cities that are protesting. But I think that we need to let the guy do what he's going to do and then judge him. Let's see what he does, right?
We park our cars in the same garage. They're just not anywhere near the same cars because yours are worth more. But I agree wholeheartedly, man. Yeah. That's what I've been saying. The protesters, I think are idiots. Personally, I really do. I'm not saying protesting it makes you an idiot. I think protesting maybe 6 months after, if he's really failing your country, then protest.
Well,
Pat, you seem a little different.
Yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing. Okay, so I'm not super involved politically, or for that matter, very much up to date. But if you flipped it, where the Democrat had won and the Republicans were protesting,
they would have been
like,
idiots.
What's wrong with these stupid morons? This is insane. Donald Trump, I don't like him one bit. I think he's slimy and he's sneaky and all that stuff that a lot of people feel about him. But I will say that he is very smart. I don't think he's a good person based on what I know. Never met the guy, so this is just kind of what I infer. He's not dumb. Look at what he's done with his life. He's incredibly smart. So a lot of people are like, oh, this idiot, blah, blah, blah. He talks like a moron. He was
Sounds like
playing a
jealousy,
game.
to be honest.
When he was playing a game.
Yeah, you know what
he
it is?
won.
What it really comes down to is this. So a lot of the people that are out protesting are young. And, everyone's young at one time in their life. And when you look back at yourself when you were young, you realize how little you knew, right? I look back on when I was 20 and 19, and I realized that I was an idiot. I was well-educated, but I was an idiot. I wasn't worldly and aware of things and a bit weary of the world, and you've seen everything and seen more. And I think that this irrational fear that women are going to be in danger in Trump's United States is silly. And the idea that Mexicans are going to be, picked on by the Trump administration is silly unless they are worthy of being deported. And there'll be determination what that means. But, it's interesting. I was listening to CNN today, and there was a discussion about how many illegal aliens are going to university in the United States, and they're afraid of getting deported. I don't understand. Can I just take a train down to New York City, get off, and go to NYU and go to school there? It's not allowed.
No, you need to have transcripts. There's a whole thing.
No, well, of course, but I mean, I'm being a bit sarcastic, but I can't go to L.A. or New York, where I'd like to live, and just live full time. They're going to deport me. It happens to Canadians all the time. Canadians get deported all the time.
Canadians would know this.
I know one comic specifically that happened to, and now that person cannot go back,
right?
Maybe ever. But at least for a good amount.
Because they got caught working in the States.
So the question I have is if I think in the last since the election, 250,000 people have crossed the border illegally and are trying to stay in the United States, and they hope they're going to be grandfathered by this new administration. If they're here and they're not criminals, and they can't prove they're criminals, they'll be allowed to stay. I just understand why they're allowed to stay. If you live in Russia and you want to live in Germany, and you just go there and you say, hey man, I want to live here, don't deport me, the Germans will deport you. I don't understand why in the United States.
And now that Trump's brought it up, why that is an issue. Because it's such a regular occurrence for anyone.
What I do get is that there's 12 million people that have been there for a very long time, and no one's done anything about it. And maybe they turned a blind eye because I think Mexican laborers will do things that maybe North America or Canadian and American laborers won't do. Like some jobs, they work very hard, I understand, and there's some jobs that they won't, that they'll do that local people won't do. But I still think it's a bit absurd that you can take umbrage with the idea you're not a citizen, you don't have any rights, you're not a citizen. You can be deported. You can be. And the fact that I think that the former administrations and this one will probably allow most of those people to stay is pretty kind-hearted.
Yeah.
It absolutely is kind-hearted, and you're right. I mean, people are looking at it emotionally when they get upset that illegal immigrants might be deported. Because if you're looking at it just simply on from a legal perspective, then of course they should be deported. But if
it was the message. It was how he said it, but how he said it is also how he knew he'd garner votes.
Well, I want to tell you something else. Something else. So this is a fact. I'm not making this up, and either is his cabinet and supporters. There are documented 1 million people in the United States that have crossed the border illegally, that have been tried and prosecuted and have been given deportation orders, and they have escaped, and they're living large in the United States. There's 1 million out of 12 million, right? So that's a shit ton of people that are criminals in the United States. That's an astonishing number to me. Astonishing number. 1 million people.
I just back to that conversation of let's see what he does 6 months, a year, and back to the protesters, lay off. Just let the guy, and all the leaders are saying this. The comedians are saying it. You heard Chappelle say on SNL. You got to give him a chance.
Of course.
And that is the respectful way to do democracy. The vote happened. Back off. I saw a great joke by our friend Tyler Morrison.
Oh, yeah.
He tweeted out, he goes, what do the baristas write the name on the brick before they give them the protester, then to throw into a Starbucks? So, and you're right. But, I never thought of it because I get angry, and I've been getting angry at the protesters. But that's a nice way to look at it too, Brad, where, you were young once too. I'm 43 getting mad at guys who are 22. So I might have done the same at 22. So, and they'll probably look back and realize that, they would. I just think they're wasting their time.
Well, also,
they really are.
Social media is a massive contributor to this, right? Like, 30 years ago or 25 years ago, it was very hard to get this number of people out inexpensively, and now you can do it for free. And there's just a lot of people that want to cause, there's a lot of people who want to cause havoc in every city just because. And some of these protesters want to cause havoc, and some of them are people who have legitimate beefs and are trying to use their democratic rights to full effect. And I don't have a problem with people peacefully marching and stuff, but I do have a problem with people destroying cars and private property and throwing stones through buildings that people are worked hard to create or to lease and run a business out of, right? That drives me mental.
What's also insane is, and we spoke to a comedian in LA yesterday, and it was hilarious. And he was just like, well, why the fuck are they doing it in New York and LA where they supported Hillary?
That's not where they voted
what
for
a
Trump.
fucking waste. He's like, go to Waco, Texas, and go and demonstrate there. See how you do over there.
Yeah,
but,
that's where you go.
And that's and he's like, I got to wait 2 hours just to go and get a Starbucks.
If you can find a nice building that's not already trashed in Ohio.
Right.
As when the G20 and we had all that stuff happen here about, what was that now, 6-7 years ago?
Yeah.
As a property owner, Brad, do you start to fear for those times for things like this as a developer?
Yes.
Do you start, so if you were in California, would you prepare for maybe stuff like this?
We hired security for that event.
Wow.
Because there are a certain number of people.
That's a good question.
Who are I would classify as anarchists.
Yeah.
Or hardened, communist type people who want everyone to have free housing and free food and free education. It's a novel idea, but it's just not going to work. And they do often, these groups they're brought in to these centers that have these worldwide summits to cause havoc. And so we hired security guards to protect our buildings during that period.
So much of big business is protecting that business, isn't it? From whether it's like cyber attacks or, security
Insurance,
and things like
legal
stuff.
Sure.
Is that a big part of business that A, people don't understand, but B, is really fucking stressful?
Well, it's a part that sucks because it's one of those, when you're doing a pro forma, it's kind of an unknown, right? That this stuff takes up such a big part. But even being a commercial landlord, like we just had a situation where a tenant didn't pay rent for 2 months. We finally said, listen, get the fuck out of here. We locked him out. We took all his stuff, locked it up, and we're going to sell it. And his people
Does he have any old hockey cards in there?
Pardon me?
Does he have any old hockey cards in there? I'm on a new hockey card fetish.
It's all in a couple of boxes, but he had nothing of value, believe me. A couple of computers. Anyway, we, his employees have come back and thrown rocks through the windows.
Come on.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
TD and RBC recently have raised their rates. We've talked about it a few times, and the first-time home buyers are now having additional home buying credit. Will this affect real estate in Toronto? Did I ask that question right?
Yeah, I think you did. So I don't think the first-time buyer credit will do a lot. There already were some credits available. I think this probably roughly doubles. So the deal is roughly around $400,000. When you buy a residential property, you no longer pay the provincial portion of the tax. You still pay the Toronto portion.
Oh, wow.
But there is a Toronto first-time buyer credit too, so it comes down a bit. So the whole thing's written off at the provincial level. They've raised the property or the land transfer tax on commercial property over $400,000. So now they've put an extra burden on business to pay that tax. It's not a revenue. This is a revenue neutral move, right? And they've also increased the land transfer tax on purchases residentially over $2 million. We have the highest land transfer taxes in the planet here. It's insane. Toronto's insane.
And which obviously, that extra cost, that's an upfront cost. That's like what people would use for down payments for mortgages and stuff. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to pay that. Will that ever be reversed? And didn't the Ford administration bring a lot of that in?
The Ford administration brought in land transfer taxes for the city of Toronto. So now, just to give you an idea, you buy a $2 million house. And I'm going to tell you, a $2 million house sounds like a fucking awesome house, and it's a lot of money. But a $2 million house is not that much of a house in Toronto anymore. Houses in Scarborough, in outlining areas of Scarborough, bungalows are selling for $700,000 now. War bungalows. So that's a $90,000 tax. You're going to pay $90,000 on top of the purchase price you buy a $2 million house for land transfer tax.
I'm just so happy.
Anyway, I'll tell you what. The thing is, the interest rates, the Royal Bank and someone else came out with interest rate increases, and they're just being pigs. They're just being pigs because what's happened when Donald Trump came to power, became the next president, the bond prices changed with the idea that he would cause the economy to grow at a higher rate than currently growing, and that inflation might kick in a bit. So they
hang on. Did you just give a fist bump because you're an investment banker?
No, I have. Okay. No,
Okay.
not one bit.
Okay.
I have creaky joints, so I just cracked my elbow.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's okay. So bond rates went up. Yields went up, and so it's a short-term thing. Who knows exactly what Donald Trump's going to do? But there's an opportunity here for our banks to be pigs, and they raise the rates 0.3% just to make some short-term easy money. It's terrible. We're trying to find a way for first-time buyers to buy real estate, and they raise rates for absolutely no reason. The cost of money did not go up. The CMHC did make some rule changes, but effectively the rates didn't go up.
So in this part of the world anyway, and for Canadians looking to invest, Hamilton, is that where we got to start buying?
Yep.
Buy up Hamilton? You say it every week. Buy up
Hamilton is, Guillermo del Toro.
Who's that? Isn't he a movie producer?
He's a big
director.
movie director.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pacific Rim and Pan's Labyrinth. And
He's the man.
He's Benicio's brother. Yeah.
Is he?
Yes.
No way.
Yeah.
Really?
Not a whole lot of Del Toros flying around,
you know
especially not in the States now.
Do you know that for sure?
I'm 99.
Well, I'll look it up.
I did not know that, but that's
if
very
I'm
interesting.
wrong,
Because one brother's tall and quite handsome, the other one's shorter and a little
it's
heavier.
like my brother and I.
Anyways, he just was in Hamilton tweeting all the great things he loves about it, and I got to say that Hamilton is the next spot. It is. It's like, people are going to move to Hamilton in a big way in the next 3 to 4 years, and Hamilton prices are going to double again. Hamilton prices.
Okay, don't say anymore because I'm going to buy something. So let's wait till next week until I don't want it to. Oh, it's not going to go up by next week. Okay.
No, I'm not that. I'm not. I wish I had that kind of power.
Okay.
I have no power. But really, prices went up more in Hamilton in the last 6 months than any other city in Canada.
Wow. So now you got to get in. This is
still low. I mean, you can buy a kick-ass house for like a mansion for $500,000.
So do people listening out west now say to themselves, is just investment purposes? Do they start looking? Is that how a lot of investors look at properties, knowing that there could be a property manager or something? Like, do they start looking outside of their areas? Is that a big strategy?
No, I don't think that small investors. I think that I'll tell you, the Asian Chinese buyer from mainland China is very, very mobile. And the reason they're mobile is there's a lot of Chinese people living around the world and a lot of Chinese people living in Canada. And so there's always a surrogate somewhere that can manage or help them with the property they buy. So a lot of Chinese, this has happened, a lot of Chinese have moved from, they're not buying in BC, and they've moved to here, and they are buying here. Buildings are selling out, like new condo projects are selling out in hours.
It's a good time to be alive, eh, Brett?
Hours. Well, we don't. I mean, if I cater to that, but we try to cater to more local buyers. We don't really do the large foreign.
You build nice condos and nice homes for people to live in who are part of the community.
Yeah, we sell to investors, but we don't sell to we don't sell a lot of units to foreign investors because there's local people here that we want to sell to and support, and they like to buy our stuff too.
and they keep coming back.
They keep coming back.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Brad J. Lamb, Brad J. Lamb Realty, TorontoCondos.com. This is the point of the program where we get to pitch to you things. We're gonna and Pat McDonald's gonna start it off. He's got a real legitimate idea. Hang on.
Would Brad invest in this?
Mr. McDonald, I give you the floor, sir.
So this was inspired just recently. Todd has that hat on, right? So if you could wear like a Make America Great Again hat, and then as soon as somebody is like cocking back to throw an egg at you, it changes to something else. So like camouflage hat, but not like camouflage like pattern. Like you can change the thing it says on your hat.
Maybe it says "Stronger Together."
Yeah.
Hey, and it goes blue.
United we stand.
Hey? Yeah.
That is brilliant. I like that idea.
Right?
That's not a bad idea.
Boom. That was just off the top of my head.
It's kind of like 2-in-1 hats.
It is 2-in-1 hats.
But I would not invest in that idea.
Okay.
Well, I haven't even asked for like a specific amount of money.
Okay.
So I feel like that makes a difference. I will give you 10% of the company.
For $1.
$5,100.
Blau, do you have one?
No.
Blau, by the way, you're dying, so I don't want to share a microphone with you. It's so embarrassing. I like you.
He's sick all the time.
I don't think he's sick.
Are
He's
you
just
sick?
What
I
happened to you?
Grab no. I don't want you to share Brad's mic or touch it
you're
because
gonna
you're
give me
sneezing and
Bilal is going to
boogering.
sell his germs to terrorists, and they will be able to poison the world.
Where's he going now?
I gave my
grab the
handheld.
handheld just since everybody's
'Cause,
paranoid.
yeah.
I don't know. I get like allergies. And
Is it anxiety?
I get anxiety coughs a
Yeah,
little bit.
those-
Does Brad make
So-
you anxious?
Well, a little bit.
Those November
Out of
allergies.
respect.
The pollen is everywhere.
It was warmer today. But anyways, so my idea, because last week was Remembrance Day. So anyway, so like
Novembrance Day.
Novembrance Day. It's a
He
new day
wants
upstairs.
Forgetful
It's
Day, where you
Movember
forget
Day.
what it's called. And it's a
So-
pill that you take.
Novembrance Day.
It was Remembrance Day,
Oh.
and
They should do a whole month, by the way.
so anyway, so like the only poppy they sold was down in the street, in like the underground pathway, and I saw the guy once, and then I didn't see someone on the street level who was selling poppies, and I spent about 20 minutes a day, 40 minutes
Ooh.
a day in Toronto walking around the street getting poppies.
Wow.
And I thought, wouldn't it be great if you could just go online and get some cufflinks or a necklace, just like not even just one product, but a line of poppy alternatives for the poppy gentleman. And I'm going to call as well, so I'm going to stop talking.
So you're saying that you hate the poppy and you feel like we should do away with it.
I have no idea what he just said.
Invest. Come on.
Invest in what? He wanders around the streets looking for poppies all the time.
40
He
minutes
couldn't find a
day.
poppy.
40 minutes a day.
All the time?
I think he's saying he couldn't find one and he loses them. A lot of people lose their poppies.
Oh, do that.
That's
So he's saying
something.
there should be a poppy
Although that's bad for business if people
line
recycle
of
them.
something. Maybe in our hat, Pat.
See?
Poppy hat.
Huh? Now do you want to invest the hat?
Dude, I like this hat idea. You can
Hats.
put like a Blue Jay symbol, a Raptor symbol. Like
you
it's
get
always
40% because you wore it.
I
You're the
really
inspiration. You're my muse.
I like this idea actually.
You know, you could actually it could be an advertising thing. You could actually sell your forehead to Pepsi Canada or
I'd get it.
McDonald's.
Well,
There you
Brad
go.
J. Lamb
Fair
Pizza
size of
Pizza.
mine.
That's
There you
amazing.
go.
Guys, look at us.
Hey.
Think tank.
You
Well,
sell
that's
enough hats, you sell 1 million hats, and then you sell the space above the hat.
Hello.
There you
Guys,
I don't even have an idea anymore.
let's celebrate and buy a bunch of condos.
I'm
sounds
going to
like a
invest
good
with
idea.
you. I've decided. I've been putting some money away, and I'm
Right.
doing it. I'm pulling the trigger.
Good
I'm
stuff.
doing it in Hamilton. Shh! Don't tell anybody.
In the hammer.
Right in the hammer.
Boom.
There's a lot of fun.
So your idea was like,
Yeah, no one
like
knows.
a pin or
It's
something?
so
or-
annoying.
Yeah,
talk in the mic.
yeah. Don't talk on the mic. It's okay.
Okay.
We got to get to just to it.
Basically, a line of accessories.
I'm
for
saying
the
no.
poppy challenge.
I'm saying no anyway. So just
Okay, no,
The
appreciate
poppy
it.
challenge.
it's a no.
I got one.
You got another idea?
You got shoes, right? We all know what those are.
Yeah, bro.
Hold on. Everyone's wearing them.
Okay.
It's like rollerblades that like come out of your shoes.
They have
like,
that.
No way.
For kids?
They do
Hold
have
on.
that for
No, I'm not
kids.
talking wheelies. I'm talking like,
Rollerblades.
but not like rollerblades. It's a combination, right? So you're going for a nice walk in the summer. You're like, could I ever go for a blade or what? And they like drop down. It's like the wheels in an airplane
Oh yeah.
where they kind of come out. And then you're like, now I'm blading.
Does anyone actually rollerblade anymore?
Oh, so many people. I
Do they?
live close to Lakeshore
Yeah.
and Spadina, and all along that trail on the waterfront, people
men,
blade.
Men do that still?
Not like cool ones, no.
Because it's
Skates,
kind of a
though. What about
dance
skates?
skate.
Like
They
ice
come out of
skates?
shoes.
I guess, but then that would only appeal to a certain section of
Canadians.
the population, whereas you can go worldwide with your rollerblade shoes.
Hey, Brad, are we okay? This market's going to be all right? From, like I'm speaking from the average guy now. I'm being serious. Like this, people trying to buy homes and do things and get condos. Like we're going to be okay because there's a lot of panic out there right now. Is the truth.
So I think that you have to ask yourself: do you believe that the Canadian and U.S. economy are going to collapse sometime soon? Real estate prices just don't correct because there's an outlying event, whether it's higher interest rates, a natural disaster, a new political power in force, stock market collapses that cause people to panic about the overall economy. So there's really nothing on the agenda right now. Interest rates are going to stay low. They've gone up a little bit. They're going to stay low for a very, very, very long time. And I've said one of the reasons why is because governments are bankrupt. No government can afford an interest rate hike of 2%. The United States is out of business. Japan's out of business. Can't do it. So I think that what you have to watch for is for signs of like an overheating economy, an overheating stock market, interest rates rising, inflation rising inordinately. But often these things are predicated by an instantaneous something that happens, right? So I can't see anything right now on the horizon that's going to affect rates or affect real estate in North America or the world for that matter. So I think people are pretty safe. It's no guarantee, but I don't see anything on the horizon right now that's going to do anything.
Cool. You like my hat?
That whole OVO thing, I don't get that. I mean, October's very own. I know that's the thing, but what's that fucking thing all about?
I think Drake was born in October, I'm assuming.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know what it
That's
is either.
just a guess.
Literally.
Okay, but so October. So what does that mean? October's
very own. I don't know.
So he's October's.
He belongs
very own,
to October. He's like, I'm an October baby.
But it's a weird name for it's a weird name for an organization.
It
though,
works.
Isn't
There's
It
weirder.
works. It works, yeah.
There is weirder.
Todd Shapiro Show.
Ooh.
No, that's weird.
Brad J. Lamb, thank you. Go to TorontoCondos.com. Go make yourselves a great investment or just go and live in a beautiful condominium. Enjoy Drake night. You can let him know if he only sits a few rows in front of you.
Yeah.
So let him know.
We're great friends, Drake and I.
You should ask him about the OVO thing.
Just kidding.
Just be like, hey, man.
He's great friends with my ex-wife, though.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude, I would do anything if you could.
She's in a song of his, by the way. Do you know that?
No way.
Yeah.
Your ex-wife's in a song of Drake.
Yeah. The line is all Katrina's smart about it.
Come on.
That's her name, Katrina Smart. Yeah. She's in as one of my songs.
A 5-minute interview. I know you're on friendly terms and you're great parents to your young daughter. I got to lean on you for that. I got to get Drake. I have 3 goals: Drake, Stern, Rogan in the next year. That's why I want on the show.
Rogan's in town pretty soon.
I know. Even Russell Peters been ignoring
Seth
me.
Rogen?
No, Joe Rogan.
Not Seth
me?
Rogen?
No.
You can
You
get
met
him.
Seth Rogen, did you?
No, Joe
I'm
Rogan.
having trouble getting Joe.
Why do you want Joe Rogan?
You know why? He's got a big audience.
Really? Isn't he like the UFC guy?
He's huge.
Oh, yeah.
His podcast is the #1 podcast in the world. He's
Really?
huge. You're going to the washroom again? Okay, Brad's going to run.
The Todd Shapiro Show.
All right, we really appreciate you watching that video. Make sure you check out some more videos. Why not? Let's get caught in the Shapiro Show vortex right here. Or you can subscribe to the channel right here and check out videos at any point because we're going to give you all the alerts. We do appreciate you being a part of our family. Most families hate each other. Not ours. We love you.